Luckily for me and for you, the whole electric vehicle and renewable energy world has been growing pretty strongly over the past few years, fueled by concern about global climate change, the desire to improve air quality, and of course, the rapidly depleting reserves of fossil fuels we have in the earth. And whatever your reason for watching this channel, I'm really glad that you keep coming back to join me, whether it's to hear about the latest developments from Tesla, to learn a little more about how electric cars work, or to look for a different perspective on the future of transportation and energy. But in the last couple of months, I've got a decent number of questions from you all, ranging from how I decide to cover the content I do, to asking me what my studio setup is in terms of equipment. And while I'm not going to be able to answer them all in one video, I figured today, since I'm actually not here, I'm taking a day or two off to celebrate my wedding anniversary, would be a good time for me to answer some of them. To that end, I'm going to start off with some more practical questions concerning the coverage I give on this channel, specifically why I don't cover story X, but I might cover story Y. While there was a time not so long ago when I struggled to find enough stories to cover in a week, I'm now suffering from the exact opposite. Namely, there are just too many breaking news stories on a daily basis for me to cover them all. And when writing scripts for the daily vlog and of course my Friday roundup show, I have to try and keep a balance that will keep everyone happy, interested, and educated. Right now, the biggest player in the plug-in world, at least in terms of news stories, is Tesla. And while the Renault-Nissan alliance is technically bigger in terms of electric vehicles produced, there's not a week that doesn't go by when Tesla isn't in the news. And thus, Tesla features on this channel most weeks. That causes some to complain that we're the Tesla news channel, which we're not, and that I'm biased towards Tesla. Or perhaps even biased against them if my commentary isn't 100% glowing. That reality, of course, here is that I can't keep everyone happy, but I'm going to keep covering them as long as there are newsworthy stories to cover. On the flip side, another common question that I'm asked, and sometimes even yelled at, is why I cover companies that aren't Tesla. Look through any video on here and you'll see nothing but people bad-mouthing rival companies who aren't Tesla because, well, they aren't Tesla. And sometimes that equates to people claiming I'm wasting their time, or worse still, being a corporate shill. Tied in with that sentiment is a common question or comment bemoaning General Motors, Toyota, or any automaker who isn't Tesla because of past anti-EV practice, or in the case of GM, the crushing of the EV1. In these cases, I'm often asked why I'm covering these companies at all. And to answer both of these questions above, I want to reiterate something about my motivation to have this channel in the first place. My goal is to help accelerate the adoption of cleaner, greener, safer, and smarter vehicles and make the world a cleaner, greener, safer place. Who gets there first or who plays a part in it all is really immaterial to me. And as to the EV1 and other transgressions of the past, well, they were wrong. But I hope that all of those companies have moved on since then, and given demand for the plug-in vehicles around the world, I think they have to. In much the same way as I hope you still don't hold Second World War grudges against one nationality or another for the sins of their grandparents, I hope you don't hold grudges against automakers for past idiotic moves. The next question I'm asked with regularity is why I'm not covering Company A or Product B or some weird, obscure story that hasn't really hit the headlines. The answer sometimes is that I don't feel that it would have enough mainstream appeal, or that its other stories have occurred in the same week which are more important editorially, either because they are more important or because of their mainstream appeal. Sometimes, though, it's because I don't have appropriate B-roll access. B-roll, for those who don't know, is all of the footage and relevant video that plays while I'm talking. If I have no B-roll, it's really hard to make a video that's engaging or interesting. Moreover, sometimes companies don't make B-roll available, or the information I do have is so scarce that I can't make a decent segment out of it. And while I'm on the subject of B-roll, it's important to note here that every piece of footage I use on this show has to be properly sourced. It's not okay, and it never has been, to simply, for example, use spy shots without permission, or you may end up getting a nice large bill for using somebody else's photographs. And spy shot photographers, unless they're fans, tend to be kind of expensive. The same is true of videos. If that video is on a social media site, it's generally okay to use with permission, but as one rival site recently learned, posting a link to a video that hasn't been rights cleared can cause a real nightmare. And frankly, I don't earn enough from this to risk a legal battle. And if you note, I've used the word I a lot in this video because, well, this channel is, for the most part, just me. Yes, I do get help once in a while, but everything from the script to the filming to the editing is just me. And when there's a mistake, it's usually mine. But, well, that's for a future video. That's it. As always, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, hit that notification bell and click the Patreon link at the end of this video if you want to help me make more of these videos. Until next time, thanks for joining me and keep evolving.